Hey yo, what's up, you guys? It's your boy Three Stacks in this thing, baby. And guess what, you guys? Got a surprise for you. We are showcasing pure Black Luster Soldiers on my channel today. Cool Cuz is the innovator for this deck. He did Black Luster Soldier Chaos Max. He did basically a whole Chaos deck on it. I'm taking my own little innovative spin on it. I'm giving a crack at it. But even though I'm like really good with ritual decks, don't get me wrong, Cool is the master of this deck. Reason why is because he has years of experience with it. He loves it a lot. But I'm very proud to showcase this to you guys today because this is the first time this kind of build has been showcased on my channel. And I feel like there are fans out there that really like the Black Luster Soldier archetype. This is definitely for you guys, but I'm not going to ramble anymore. Let's hop into the build. So for our monsters, we're starting off with 3 Black Luster Soldier, the Super Soldier. You can basically allow him to grant additional effects on top of his original effect, but his original effect pretty much is if you think of Sphinx Talea and Android Sphinx, those that's kind of like a good way to state it. If he kills a monster by battle, he burns the your opponent for the original attack of that monster that he killed by battle. Also, he floats, like if he gets destroyed by battle or card effect, he summons a Gaia, the Fierce Knight, from hand, deck, or graveyard. Yeah, hand, deck, or graveyard, which is pretty doggone broken. He's a great card, but his base effect, while it's incredible, he gets a lot more powerful the way you make him in this deck. When you're using Evening and Twilight, it's really good. I still play the OG Black Luster Soldier. Even though he's a vanilla, you can give him effects, bro. You can actually give him effects, make him an effect monster, and he allows me to play my favorite spell in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Pre-Preparation of Rites, which I find to be very beneficial. I do like the Black Luster Soldier. He ups the count, and ups the chances of actually resolving a ritual summon, and I really like him a lot. Like, he's the OG, the artwork, it's a euphoric feeling. If you want to play competitive, you don't have to play him. But at the same time, a +1 is very competitive, so Pre-Preparation of Rites is insane. And that's the only way you're going to play Pre-Preparation of Rites. I do play 2 of the BLS that's not a ritual. I find that you can brick on this guy sometimes. You don't want to play 3. And guess what else? He is extremely searchable through the deck. Your field spell searches a Gaia, and the Gaia searches this. You have so many ways to get to it, basically. Like, you have like 8 other cards in your deck that can get you to this card. And half the time, even a Manju can get you there sometimes. So I just find the 2 BLS is totally fine. We all know how this guy works. We all know how he's supposed to be summoned. He's really incredible for this deck. He helps you a lot because just by summoning BLS in this archetype, you get a +1. You get to search a ritual spell and a ritual monster. So basically, by summoning BLS, you extend your combo plays and allow yourself to actually get a bigger push. So I really like this guy a lot. I'm not gonna lie, the Black Luster Soldiers are incredible. He is the envoy beginning, after all. We have 1 Gaia, the Fierce Knight. Both these guys can summon themselves without tributing. This one says if he's tributed, he adds a Black Luster Soldier from your deck to your hand, which is really broken because you actually search this guy. And he's searchable through a field spell that we play 3 and 3 terraformings. And in addition to that, you can also see this guy off of your ritual spell. So you have like a lot of ways to get to him and a lot of ways to get to him. And this guy, you can still summon him without tributing as well. But if he's tributed, he lets you special any Black Luster Soldier monster from your hand. You rarely ever get that because if you recognize that these have to be summoned through a specific summoning mechanic, you can acknowledge that this card's not always that great. But I still play 1 of each. I just found that having a dark version and a light version was really important. I just really felt that was extremely important. So yeah, we have our 8 pretty much boss monsters of the deck. And then I also play triple Manjus. Spoiler alert, I'm not playing any incantations in this build. It's not to say that they're not great. Don't get me wrong, they're pretty decent. But I just don't think that they benefit you that much. And they always get left on the field because you have to tribute exact levels when you're ritual summoning. So while they can become like pseudo Manjus without normal summoning, they can clog your field sometimes a lot more than you think. And I really don't like that all the time. And also, in addition to that, like, it's so easy to get OTK'd with Crusadius because they like just straight up Leonish you, and it really sucks, bro. So I just found that the incantations in this particular build was not that great. So we're relying on Manju and our field spells and stuff like that. We're also relying on Beginning Night, which I played 3 of, and also Evening, Twilight Night, which I played 3 of. They allow you to pretty much do what the incantations do. That's why me and Cool Cuz both agreed that you don't actually need incantations for this build. But if you're playing the build with Chaos Max and etc., yeah, definitely play the incantations, because you have a lot more different ritual monsters and ritual spells that you're trying to search. With this deck, you have one trajectory, one direction. You can't go wrong with it. So what these guys do is actually broken. I have to read it to you because it's so broken. So beginning night, a Blackluster Soldier monster that's ritual summoning using this card as a ritual material gains these effects. So even if you summon your vanilla Blackluster Soldier, he'll get this effect. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the grave, you can activate this effect. It can attack twice. If this card if this card's banished from the graveyard, you can add a ritual spell from your deck to your hand. What's really cool is obviously by summoning BLS, you can just banish this guy and get your search. So what he can do for your Super Soldier is allow Super Soldier to kill 2 monsters and inflict their original attack twice, which can be basically an OTK depending on how big the monsters are that you killed. And then we also have Evening Twilight, which what he does is whenever you use him for ritual summoning, he gives that Blackluster monster effect these effects. 2 effects, which is a lot better than beginning. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls and banish it. Also, you can banish 1 random card from your opponent's hand face down until your opponent's next in phase. That can be complemented by the other Blackluster Soldier that is not a ritual, but it can also. You can potentially hit 2 cards out of your opponent's hand on turn 1, so it's kind of like resolving 2 Omegas. While it's semi-competitive, it's not very likely that you resolve it. And then if he's banished, he adds a ritual monster from your deck to your hand. So he's a lot better than beginning, but when you're able to use both of them, you get a really, really good effect. You can basically turn this vanilla Blackluster Soldier into a replicated facsimile of this Envoy of the Beginning, or even vice versa. You can turn Super Soldier into a supreme version of BLS. He'll have all the effects of BLS plus additional effects that BLS does not have. So we play these 9. I also play 2 Envoy of Chaos because he is a combo extender. You can pitch him, give your guys a boost of 1500 attack, which would be your Gaias or your BLSs. Also, you can banish him from the grave. Also, you can banish a light and a dark monster from your grave to add him to your hand, which basically you get a +2 because you get this to your hand plus these. Well, actually, it's a +3. I'm not going to lie. But I call it a +2 because this card originally was a card in your hand, so it's accounted to your card economy. But no matter what, you're going to plus more than +1 off of this card. You're going to add him back, and you're going to add a ritual spell and a ritual monster from your deck to your hand. He's a really, really good playmaker. I don't want to play 3 because he's a little bit too excessive at 3. He's a little bit bricky. But he's a great card. You can search him out through Rhoda as well. But I find that 2 is just enough. And I don't have the Karibos, but I found that the effect veilers are actually better. The only, I guess, interaction and or implication that could come in mind is when you're using this Gaia. That's why I really need the Dark Karibo more than I need the Light Karibo. In fact, I think Cool Cuz gave it to me. It's somewhere. It's the Spear Karibo. So I should have a Spear Karibo in this list because of the interaction with the Ritual spell, which would allow you to send tribute this guy and send the Karibo, which basically allows you to get exactly 8, 7 plus 1, and they're both light and dark, so you fulfilled the conditions for the Ritual spell. You get your BLS out, and then you get this guy's effect to search your other BLS, and then you can banish him and the Karibo and summon the other BLS, and you can have a rank 8 play if you play that kind of, if you're going that route, or you just have a lot of dominant field presence, which is actually really good as well. But the effect veilers are sufficing pretty much for the time being. Not only is it being the level 1 target to add to your Gaia Sabers, to your Gaias, but also it's a hand trap. It's a really good hand trap. It's one of the best of the format because of chain blocking Golkis and chain blocking Crusadias. That's it for the monster count. Now for our spells. This spell is amazing, you guys. This spell is really incredible. I played triple Gateway and 1 Ritual Sanctuary, aka Las Vegas. Gateway is redundantly good. And I mean, like, when I say stupid, redundant is like dumb. It's stupid. But I mean, like, a good kind of, like, it's like, wow. This field spell is amazing. But what it does on activation, it adds a ritual Blackluster Soldier or a Gaia. So you can search your Gaia that then searches your non-ritual Blackluster Soldier. So basically, put it this way. This card searches your entire deck. If it's not Envoys, you're basically searching any BLS or any Gaia. Even if you can't search the non-rituals, you can search the Gaia that then searches the non-ritual anyways. Making sense? So on activation, it's a Rhoda pretty much for any of those cards. In addition to that, it gains spell counters, a maximum of 6. Every time a monster is sent from the field or the hand to the grave, it gets 1 spell counter for each monster. So once it has 6, that's the max. But you can get 3 and you remove 3 and you add 1 ritual spell from your deck to your hand, which is actually incredible that this field spell is a +1. It's going to grant you the search of your ritual monster and your ritual spell. So it is like a pseudo pre-prep that you have to put a little bit of work and progression towards. And also the ritual sanctuary helps because sometimes you just can't trigger this effect and you need to still be able to search your ritual spell. And that's the sole reason for playing this, is searching the ritual spells in his deck, and also putting back our one of Blackluster Soldier, Blackluster Ritual into our deck so that we can resummon our Manju, and also kind of get a little bit of the extension to our combos, reloading and setting up for the pre-prep to be live again. And having Manju, which can be tributed for another ritual summon, which is really good. And then I also played triple Optimus Prime to search out our field spells. Both are hard ones to return, but both are so incredible. You just have to. It's like this. ABC's Union Hanger. Union Hanger is a 1 per turn, but do you see any ABC player playing any less than 6 Union Hangers? That's a great way to explain why we maximize on these field spells, because they're amazing. We also play triple pre-preparation of rites. It is a +1 of the deck. It's going to grab you the original ritual spell and the original Blackluster Soldier. They're really cool because they kind of just break a new dimension to the deck. It's not just the euphoria, but being able to have that +1 and another way to drop another Blackluster, because sometimes you have that restriction where his ritual spells only once per turn. So sometimes you're only in a situation where you have the resources to summon 2 Blackluster Soldiers, but unfortunately you only have 1 of the ritual spells that you can use. But pre-prep and also playing this allows you to be able to drop 2 Blackluster Soldiers, which can allow you to OTK. Even if it's like, you know, like an established board, you can possibly break through it, push through it in OTK, get the additional effects that you need for your Blackluster Soldiers, and you can just break boards and you can just push. Another +1 of the deck is triple Pot of Desires. If you looked at my monster count, pretty much everything's at 3, and the only 1-ofs in the deck are searchable through 3-ofs that are at 3, plus the other 3. You have 6 of the field spells which search out the 1-of guys. So the deck's really consistent. Doesn't have an issue with getting what it needs. It honestly doesn't. You're not going to have a brick hand where you're like, ooh, I need this card. It's like you have too much sauce sometimes. Sometimes the deck is going to be shining for you. Pot of Desires is really here because ritual summoning is very resource excessive and intensive. And even when you make your best plays, you don't end on enough cards in hand. And when you're playing, even if it's just for fun, you kind of want to make sure that you always have a follow-up. And that's what Pot of Desires is really good for in this deck, guaranteeing that you have enough resources for your follow-up just in case either your board gets broken or, you know, the other alternative is if your push is, it basically gets shut down. You need a way to recuperate and or recover, kind of just not only have that follow-up, but also have that recovery play. So Pot's really good in the deck. Also, we have triple trade-in to complement the engine. You have 6 level 8s, and they are all searchable through multiple 3-ofs. So trade-in's always live in this deck. These get your trade-in targets. Pre-prep gets your trade-in targets. They're already at 3 themselves. Even the beginning night and the evening twilight night search your trade-in targets. So this card's always live, long story short. 1-ofs are just the 1 Rhoda. I find that Rhoda's really good in this deck because all of your main guys that allow you to enable better combos are warriors, so it's really nice to have that extra copy of them. And also for the ritual spells, I played 2 Super Soldier Synthesis and 2 Super Soldier Rituals, as well as the 1 Blackluster Ritual. Unfortunately, I only have 1. I would definitely play 2 of this, but I still would only play 1 of the original Blackluster Soldier because pre-prep can add it from the grave to the hand, whereas this specifically has to be in the deck. But I'm also mitigating for that 1 instance and that 1 interaction with the Ritual Sanctuary, because I can put this back into my deck and revive a Manju and still resolve my pre-preparation of rites multiple times. And on the lines of these, I could have played 3 of this and 1 of this. I had the option, and Kulkas originally did that. But I find that the 2-and-2 ratio is a lot better because this is a hard once per turn. So even if you maximize on playing 3 of it, you might have a higher chance of seeing it. But no matter what, you can only resolve 1. So it's not always going to be beneficial to see multiples. Whereas this is not a hard once per turn activation, and it does pay for itself in the long run. If you guys don't know what these do, these are both amazing cards. So Super Soldier Synthesis allows you to summon any Blackluster Ritual monster, including the original one, the non-effect one that was, you know, from like the first generation of Yu-Gi-Oh! And what it does, it summons it from your hand or your graveyard, which is broken. You can monster reborn your ritual monsters. And what it does is you send 1 light and 1 dark monster from one from your hand and one from your deck to the grave, who equal exactly 8. The best way to resolve this, in my personal opinion, is actually to send Evening and to send Beginning, and you will basically Monster Reborn. So if you have either one of these in hand plus this, and you have a Super Soldier engraved, you can pitch this card from your deck or pitch this card from the deck, bring him back to the from the grave, and he will get both these added effects to him. So you can attack twice, burn twice, and he can banish a card from the field and from the hand. Really, really powerful, impactful card. Like it a lot, but I only play that 2. This card's a basic ritual spell. It just tributes the monsters until they equal exactly 8. But its graveyard effects is amazing. The turn that it's not sent, except the turn that it's sent, you banish it, and 1 light and 1 dark from your grave to ritual summon any Blackluster ritual monster from your hand, which is really cool because it's a double ritual summon. But the benefit is you banish each of these, which means you're summoning a Blackluster Soldier indefinitely, but you're also getting a search off of each of these. So you're plussing, and you're enabling yourself to summon a second Blackluster Soldier and continue to just progress your game state. This one doesn't do anything. It's just a basic ritual spell. That will conclude the main deck, you guys, and I also have another surprise for you. I don't play an extra deck. You can play rank 8 spam, and you can, you know, do a little bit of link 2s here and there, like a couple nightmares. Like sometimes you normal Manju, and you have like this guy right here, and you can pretty much drop your Super Soldier and still have Manju, so you can like go into a link 2. There are like game states where it comes up where you can underclock Taker and stuff like that, but it's like this deck can't really go into the extra deck unless you're playing Scapegoats. And when your rank 8s come up, it's a lot better to just keep your Super Soldier and use him to push. I mean, rank 8s can come up. Those are the only cards that will like ever really come up for you. But ultimately, this deck is built to be a main deck, and that's what I really like about it, because now you can actually play 3 Winter Cherries, and you can make your whole extra deck Winter Cherries targets, and maybe a couple rank 8s like 1 Titanic Galaxy and like 1 Heliopolis and like, you know, just like some generic rank 8s. But extra deck never really comes up, and because it doesn't really come up, I just feel like, why play an extra deck? You know, I really like this deck a lot the way it is. If you want to do cherries, this is probably one of the best strategies to play cherries with, because if you cherries your opponent, you're probably going to win, because this deck is very aggressive when it goes off. It easily breaks board, especially if you can cherry your opponent. Like, it's just so much easier to break a board. Virtually, you can push through a lot of stuff that most decks can't push through because of all the added additional effects that you get from these guys. Granted, to your ritual monsters, you get a really, really supreme boss monster. But thank you guys so much for watching this deck profile. I appreciate you for sacrificing your time out of your day just to listen to me talk about cardboard. You know, I really appreciate you guys a lot. I love you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. And stay tuned for future content. I have some spice for you guys. I have Amorphages and Ignites coming up. So stay in your seats. Peace.